Morning. Today, I would like to welcome Naomi Sodomin. She is an amazing friend of mine, founder and CEO of Embrace the Mirror, and best-selling author to book Embrace the Mirror. I actually got to help Naomi publishing her book, and that's where we met. I was just thinking about it. It's actually 2 years ago, like basically today that we met at Speak and Write. And ever since then, I have just loved watching you grow, watching your community really come up. Thank you so much for always just being willing to jump in and help. And, I've just been really excited to talk to you about your community. So first of all, I just wanted to clarify, when I say community, I'm talking about your Facebook group. I like to call them a community because I just feel like it adds a level of, personal kind of engagement expectation. I feel like it makes people feel that this is a group interaction where their participation is needed for its functionality, which is true. So Naomi, one of the things that I really love about your community is it is filled with videos. So I would love to just find out a little bit about why you do that. Like, why are videos so important to how you show up to your audience?
Well, in the beginning, I didn't do videos because I'm a writer, right? I love to write, and I was writing these long articles, sending to my list, and I was writing these long blog posts, but it just wasn't getting the attention that it needed. And I believe I had a conversation with Amber Vilhauer, and we talked about this, and she said, you need to start doing videos. And when people can see you, then people can, they can connect to you more. They see your face, and the world is moving to where people just don't have time, Amber, to be reading these long articles. They much rather have a video to you. So I remember my very first one that I did was when we were building my website. She says, I want you to get a professional video done for us to put on your website. Oh boy, that was that was hard. and she saw me on video, and she sent me an email, and I'll never forget. And she says, Naomi, you are so amazing on videos. That's all you should be doing. And so that's what started my journey into videos, because I want people to see me. And I think when you're doing videos, I could no longer hide, behind the article. You can see my facial expression. And I always say that the camera is the eyes to the soul. And so you can see exactly if I'm being authentic, if I'm just, going through the motion. So I think that's why I started doing them.
That's absolutely like spot on perfect. I know that like watching your group develop over the last 2 years, that was definitely the shift for me in how, I saw you showing up for that community. Is as soon as I got to connect with you face to face and see your videos, that's when I knew exactly clearly what your message was. And that's also when I noticed that your following level really, really increased. People seemed to be responding to that. Your group grew like astronomically as soon as people were able to just jump right in there and get what they needed quickly.
Yeah,
I know.
Yes, that is the truth.
I mean, I know you have kind of a small, intimate community, but it's just very, very well cultivated. One of the things that people immediately get when they jump into yours is every message that you post in there is just so deeply personal. Can you touch a little bit about what mindset you use when you're coming at your community? Because you have such a unique mindset for yours. Everything you do is so personal, so intimate, and you can just feel it coming right from your soul.
Yeah, I'm a very personal person, private. I don't like to share my personal life. And that has been like the thing that kept me from wanting to put myself out there more. It's because I like the privacy of, I just want to enjoy these pictures by myself. So I'm pretty selective. I had to go, okay, well, you don't have to share everything, but if you do share something, Naomi, you better make sure that it's something that you care about to share. And so I care about, I just recently shared a picture of me holding a baby because I visited my friend who just had a baby. And I wanted to show my community that, it's important to make time to connect with friends that are not entrepreneurs, the people that you love and they're not part of this journey. So everything I share, everything I do it has to have meaning to me, because if it doesn't have any meaning to you, Amber, then it has no meaning to anybody else. And so, great example of that, we were doing a show that I did every Monday. I did Motivational Mondays, right? And I'd get on there and I'd be excited, and it's Monday. And what happened was I was no longer inspired by that topic. And so right now, we stopped doing that show because it doesn't have that drive for me that it had last year. And so now we're getting ready to launch a new show called Prosperity Chat with Naomi, because for me, it's all right now, what's pushing me, what's growing me is being inspired to build wealth, to understand abundance, to understand prosperity, and how do we create that through the vehicle of our business. Our business is the vehicle to create that. So that's why I do it.
And I love, like, because you kind of summarized on like a thought I was having yesterday, you know, as far as like, once you step out there and you're really engaging with your community and you're doing those videos regularly, it's easier to see the opportunities that you have to like expand on that. Like Motivational Mondays, you know, with Naomi was amazing, but this new concept, it's so much bigger than that and so much broader, and there's so many other things. And so like, that's why it's really nice to have your community, because you could be getting that feedback and you can see what's working. You can see, you know, like doing those things where it's just not working out, maybe for you even. And it's nice to have that community to be giving you the feedback you need. So one other question I had is, I'm sure that you're in a lot of different groups as an active business owner. I know you do coaching, training, lots of hobbies. What is it that you love most about the groups that you're in? Like, what is the things that you look for the most in your groups?
I tend to look for the groups of what it is that I need the most. So when I first started video, Amber was pushing me to do video. We were doing leverage to scale, and the leverage to scale community wasn't up yet. So I followed a woman by the name of Amy Wu, who does all videos. Her community was all about videos. And so her community gave me an opportunity to get on camera and not be afraid. So it was like my practice. So I tend to use communities to grow myself, because communities give you that opportunity, because it was a video community, so I can get on videos. And so it started, and I had to go live, and she's like, I want you to go live inside of my Facebook group and do a video. So I'd go live, and each week, and I'd do a teaching. And so that tends to help me grow. What I like about being in different groups is that I get an opportunity to add value. And I've made so many friends. I don't know if I told you this, Amber, but when I started on this journey less than two and a half years ago, I probably had like maybe 30 friends on Facebook. you know, I mean, and now I think I have something like 1,600 friends on my Facebook, somewhere in there, maybe a little less, but you know, to go from having, you know, 30 to 50 people that you know to having, you know, 1,500 people in such a span time, it's really two communities. So people that are like me, people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, and it's great. And it also gives me an opportunity to add value. I know a lot of the time when we're in community, you wanna promote yourself, but I don't use community to promote myself. I use community to give value. So if I see someone struggling about a question, Amber, I get in there and I just give it to them. I just give them the answer to that. And next thing I know, they'll send me a friend request and they want to know more about what I'm doing. And so that's the importance of community.
Yeah, and I was going to touch on that too. That's one of the things that you like really nail when it comes to communities is you dive in there head first and you are just participating, you're actively communicating with your other members, and that is growing your own network so much. Like you said, personally, you have over 1,500 people now, and that's because, you know, you're answering those little questions, you know, because it's like the admins can't always jump on, or they might have a different perspective. It's really, really awesome. I love the way that you participate and show up in communities, and really, I wish more people would be taking advantage of the information like abundance that are inside of these communities.
Yeah, there are abundant information out there. I think what I want to leave people with is to not get into community because you want to sell and promote your product. Everyone wants to do that. But if you show up in community, those are going to be the same people that you can reach out to and say, I'm launching something. What part of the country are you in? I need your help, you know? Great example. There's been several people that were in the same community where we came from, right? Amber, and those are the same people that are helping me with some of the things that I want to do because why? We've had that relationship. I've been inside of the community. You don't have to promote yourself. You are promoting yourself when you're hitting likes, when you're hitting love, when you're commenting on somebody else's post, when you're giving value. When you need something, you reach out to that person. I bet you they won't say no to you. I haven't had one person that I've reached out to that said, no, I can't help you, Naomi, because they're like, oh, great, it's Naomi.
Yeah, absolutely. I find really quickly that, when you find one of those communities, it's easy for it not to be about the admins even. It can be just so center focused on the participants and who's willing to show up. And like often that's just what's going to carry you. As a community leader, what is one trick, tip, best piece of advice that you can give to somebody who's looking to start, a new community?
If you're looking to start a new community, I would say don't do what everybody else's does. Everybody just you just go through your Facebook and you add all your friends to your Facebook group. Don't do that. That would be my first advice. And I'm so glad I didn't do that because I was able to come to bring people into my community that really wants to be there, that really cares about what it is that I'm having. So that would be the very first piece of advice. The second piece of advice is for you to really think about how you're going to show up for that community. How do you want to show up for that community? Those would be the two things. What's the purpose of the community? How do you want to show up with the community? What are you trying to cultivate in your community? I was just talking to my operating manager, and so the way our community, as we're moving forward and we continue to build the Embrace the Mirror group, we're looking at it as this is the lobby of Embrace the Mirror. This is where everybody comes. This is where we put the announcement. This is where we interact. But behind the lobby, if you want to go beyond the lobby, there's different tracks that you can take with Naomi. You can either go to Naomi's online program. You can go to Naomi's one-day seminars. And so you kind of have to have a vision of what that community looks like and what are you trying to achieve. Those would be my two advice.
And those are amazing. Like those are two great ones. I know that's a big mistake that a lot of people made, and even I made it, where you just fill your group with all your people on your Facebook because you just assume they're going to be there to support you, but then you just have this community filled with people who have no emotional investment in it.
And serving people first will be a great way to do it. So I've been doing the small events where I got an opportunity to serve them, and then I would invite them to the group. So we're growing that way. So I'll say, hey, I got a great Facebook group. If you like what happened here tonight, you can follow me. And so be willing to also serve them. But before you even go out and build your group, I would recommend you get into a group. Like if your thing is, I don't understand social media, like leverage to scale the group itself, that's where you need to be. Get in a group, see how it runs, give value, and then you know how to do it. So one of the things I always like to say is that once a master was a student, so before you can become a master, you got to be willing to be a student and watch how people are growing their community, interacting in their community, and giving back. That's how you're going to be able to grow your own community.
Wow. Thank you so much, Naomi. This has been amazing. I appreciate so much you being willing to come on here and just chat with me for a little bit. If anyone has any follow-up questions for Naomi, please post them in the comments. I'm going to be posting a link to Naomi's group that you can come and join her, and as well as a link to her website so you can learn a little bit about her. She is an amazing founding member at the Leverage to Scale community. She's been a close personal friend of mine and Amber Vilhauer's for a while. And, you know, she's just somebody that you're going to want to know. I also want to mention our amazing Author Up Live event with Mike Michalowicz, AJ Harper, and Amber Vilhauer coming up June 2nd and 3rd. If you have not heard about it yet, you definitely are going to want to go jump on AuthorUpLive.com, find out all that information, and then reach out to myself or Amber Vilhauer if you have any other questions about that event. We'd be happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much again for coming on this, Naomi, and joining me. Your community has so much to learn from you, and I really appreciate you always willing to show up in your full brilliance. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Have yourself a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.
I will.
Bye.